Hey guys, with the release of the character Bromé, we simultaneously got the confirmation about how good Cheng, Heguang and Liang actually are. This is very key and important information because not only does it determine how many more or less pulls we need in version 3.4, but it also determines who do we gonna pull for right now. That is because we can only play one follow-up attack team. There is only one team we can play Flutterpage and Fatutu in, and therefore we have to figure out first if this will be Kalabauna and Anyonala or if this will be Cheng, Heguang and Liang. Therefore, if you would have now pulled for Anyonala, but it would turn out that Cheng, Heguang and Liang are better than Kalabauna and Anyonala, you would have obviously wasted your pulls, as you would only use Anyonala for 2 versions and then bench or have her gathering dust, and you cannot afford to waste any kinds of Unilocks or pulls right now, because you need to save everything up for the Juggernaut version that is 3.4. That's why I told you to postpone your Anyonala pulls until February 12th. Do not pull for her immediately is what I told you, because you have to wait for the confirmation about how good Cheng and Liang will be together. Otherwise, again, you wasted your pulls, and again, you cannot afford this because you need every possible pull for version 3.4. We talked about this multiple times. Now, looky look, surprise surprise, as it turns out, Cheng, Heguang and Liang Yue are multiple universes better than Anyonala and Kalabauna could ever be. But there is a little bit of a caveat to this situation, and the chances are very high that you're not gonna like what I'm about to present to you. So sit down, grab some popcorn and let's dive into it. This team comes online after you have used all 3 ultimates from Cheng, Heguang, Liang Yue and Flutterpage. Under normal circumstances, as you can see right here, you would need 2 full turns just to accomplish using all 3 of these ultimates. You wouldn't be fully set up at that point because you would still lack the incantation number 2 from Cheng, Heguang, which activates his channel. So without setting this team up correctly, you would use more than 2 turns to fully get this team going. Now there is something that you can do to accomplish all of this, all 3 ultimates, plus even Cheng, Heguang's incantation number 2, which again activates his channel. All of this can be done in round number 1. This saves you 2 full turns. So that is something that you need to absolutely do if you want to play this team. If you do not do what I'm about to tell you, then you would flush down a whole bunch of viability of this team, and then it would not be worth your Unilock investment right there. As you just saw in the picture, Cheng, Heguang enters the battle with 2 Moxie already accumulated. That comes from his insight number 3. That says when entering battle, you gain 2 Moxie. Alright. You don't want to start the battle off with 2 Moxie though, you need 5. And the way to do this is to get his P2. You can see this right here, yeah? His insight is called Nightlong Sprint. And his P2 does make it so that the Moxie gained when entering battle from Nightlong Spring, from his insight number 3, increases to 5. And that is what you absolutely need to do. Without this P2, Cheng is not worth your Unilock investment. So please keep that in mind. Do not play Cheng, Heguang without his P2. This is way more important than what I told you about Paper Heron. Paper Heron is a luxury. Her P2 is a luxury investment. You do not need the P2 for Paper Heron, right? But you need P1 2 Fairy and you need P2 Cheng, Heguang, right? It's the same kind of scenario that I just talked about with Bromé. Bromé is unplayable on P0. She needs her P1 to be viable. And the exact same scenario occurs here again when it comes to Cheng, Heguang and his P2. The same exact scenario also A curse to Liang here. You saw in the picture that she normally starts the game off with 3 Moxie. That is not enough, right? I explained to you why. If you don't have Liang Yue at P2 to have her start off with 5 Moxie, and if you don't have Cheng Heguang on P2, so he also starts off with 5 Moxie, you lose 2 entire turns. Let me repeat that. You flush 2 turns completely down the drain. To put into perspective and explain it with your own logic, how valuable a single turn even is look at how much value you put on AP plus 1 lasting for 2 instead of just 1 turn. Everyone always emphasizes on how important Flutter page P1 is, on how incredibly good the P1 on Aleph is, and how necessary it is to have this P1 lasting 2 instead of just 1 turn. And that is only AP plus 1. We are not talking about having our ultimates here ready on multiple characters and setting the entire team up for success. You know what I mean? The whole power level is always determined for characters and for teams, is determined by how long they need to finish a battle, by how fast they dish out how much damage. You know what I mean? This is why Blood Tide is the best team in the entire game. Of course, this is not the only reason, but it is a core reason that Blood Tide is the only team in the game that accomplishes to finish most content in this game faster than any team. No other team in this game finishes battles as frequently off on turn 2 as Blood Tide does. Even Dynamo does this on turn 3, right? This is why Dynamo is the second best team in the entire game. So you see how incredibly important even like a single turn is. And here we are talking about 2 turns. This makes or breaks the entire team. So keep in mind that this team around Liang Yue, she's by the way the main DPS, and Chen Heguang is the sub DPS, believe it or not. And this team is incredibly strong, probably even better than Dynamo, finally. Maybe even better than the planned impromptu afflatus kind of team. They will be very, very close together, right? The possibility here is that this team here is the second best team in the entire game, based around Chen Heguang and Liang Yue. But only if you have both Chen Heguang and Liang Yue at P2. There you have it, guys. You can see that this song that I'm continuously singing here for over a month, time and time and time again, all of this is proven once again to be completely 100% the truth. I told you all the way, skip Afterglow. Don't pull for Brume. Postpone your Anionala pulls. Igor is trash. It is all not gonna be worth it. I told you that the meta shifts for the very first time after the second anniversary in version 3.4. Skip everything, be ready for this version, or you're gonna sit there disappointed and you will be crying your eyes out. And here you have it. We have 2 of the best teams in the entire game that are on par or maybe even a little bit better than Dynamo, which is the second best team in the entire game. And we get 2 of those teams in the very same version that I'm praising here for weeks and weeks and weeks. For over a month I'm singing this song time and time again. And I can just hope that at least some people out there are listening. But that's it for me for today, guys. I hope that video was fun and informative. If you like Reverse 1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate that. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.